This is the new Ford Mustang, and this is what it does. It's taken a little while for us to get our hands on this car in the UK, and now that we have, it's our job to find out if it's more than just a one-trick pony. Something tells me it's going to be fun finding out. While the Mustang might be new to UK shores though, its history can be traced back 50 years, during which time it's clocked up more than 9 million sales. Most of those sales have been in the US though, where the Mustang's popularity has been founded on its predictability. Because if you buy a Mustang, you know 3 things. It'll be loud, it'll look great, and it'll be cheap. Now, we already know this UK car has got the first 2 of those points covered, and with prices for the V8 model starting at just £33,000, it appears to offer remarkable value for money. That's not least because, as well as the wow factor, the Mustang is also reasonably practical, with a boot that'll swallow a couple of cases and back seats that, while a squeeze for adults, are at least roomier than you'll find in something like a Porsche 911. As far as comparisons with Porsche go for interior design though, that's where it ends, because while it looks quite stylish, if you look up close, quality is not as good. For example, some of these switches feel a bit cheap, and this infotainment screen is a bit of a disaster area. Thankfully though, there is another button down here that makes you forget all about that. Ford does offer the Mustang with a 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, but that's a bit like ordering a rare steak and asking for it with broccoli rather than chips. No, instead we'd advise going for this naturally aspirated 5-litre V8, which has 415 horsepower, 391 pound-foot of torque, and will get from 0 to 60 in just 4.8 seconds. Top speed, meanwhile, is 155 miles per hour, although having gone that quickly in a Mustang on the German Autobahn, I'm not sure it's something that I'd particularly recommend. That's because despite the old live rear axle making way for an independent suspension setup, the Mustang can still feel slightly crude at times. And so if you really start to push hard, the body leans in the corners, it dives under braking, and the bonnet rises when you accelerate. It also lacks any real feel through the steering, but when you put your foot down, you just don't care. What a motor. It's also a big, wide car and can therefore feel a bit intimidating to drive quickly. Thankfully, the manual gearbox has a nice precise action, and even this automatic shifts smoothly when you're just cruising. Up the pace, and the gear shifts aren't quite as quick as you want when you use the paddles, and there is a bit of a delay between that and kick down, but when it arrives, it's well worth it. While it doesn't feel dynamically as tied down as a Porsche or a Jaguar F-Type, that does bring with it an unexpected side effect, which is that the Mustang is actually more involving at slower speeds. So instead, why not think of it as like a Mazda MX-5 with a serious gym habit, something that you can really enjoy at sensible speeds, or with line lock engaged without moving at all. Other points to note is that the Mustang is also available as a slightly wobbly convertible, and that the V8 drinks like it's on a stag do. Ford might have managed to come through EU fuel tests with a figure of 21 miles per gallon, but in reality you'd be wise to bank on less than that. How much less? In our hands it's been doing 18 miles per gallon. Ouch. We have been having an awful lot of fun though, which is precisely what the Mustang is all about, isn't it? It might be a rough diamond, but if you ask me, that is exactly what makes this car so appealing. As well as making this video, I've done one of those old-fashioned written reviews about the Mustang, and if you click up here, you can read it. Alternatively, click down here to subscribe to our YouTube channel.